my millennials at? I'm a millennial myself. This video is about millennials, the broke generation that did everything correctly or everything right, as it's titled. Let me know in the comment section before this video gets started, are you a millennial? Matter of fact, just comment what generation are you? Because I know I got a lot of Gen Xers. I probably got some that's Gen Z. And I know I got a lot of millennials watching too. If you're a millennial, drop that comment. All right, family, let's get into it. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it. The broke gen that did everything right.
I am a broke millennial who's trying to pay off his credit card debt, and I refuse to stay home this summer because I don't want to spend money.
I feel as a millennial, we are collectively skipping the whole midlife crisis thing.
I don't even know what the point of doing my bills is anymore because I don't have any money.
So you're telling me that boomers' minimum wage would be equivalent to $66 an hour today?
What?
Do you want to hear me bitch for a minute about how broke I am? It might make you feel better about yourself.
Because I feel like y'all was getting paid the same or similar to what we getting paid now, but the economy was way less expensive.
Is it just me, or do it feel like we paying rent every 2 weeks?
Gen Z and millennials are so broke, they're ruining their parents' retirements.
I'm broke, I'm 29, and I just filed to run for Congress.
They talking about they're gonna start giving us retirement benefits at 86. Listen to me. They can raise this retirement age to 107 fucking teen.
You wanna know why millennials are so poor? Why we can't afford houses? It's because of all the fucking destination weddings we're making each other go to.
Man, I can't believe how my grandpa used to live. 1 job, 3 kids, vacations every year. Now I can't even afford the driveway.
All we do is work and sleep, and we still broke and tired.
Millennials aren't broke because they're bad with money. They're broke because the system was rigged before they even got a paycheck. They were told to go to college, so they did. They were told to get degrees, so they stacked them. They were told to work hard, so they burned out. And now? They're drowning in student loans, paying rent that rivals mortgages, and watching groceries eat half their paycheck. This isn't about avocado toast. It's about inflation, wage stagnation, and a cost of living that laughs in their face. Millennials aren't financially reckless. They're financially trapped. And the worst part, they're still being blamed for it. This video isn't just a rant. It's a reality check. Because when an entire generation is broke despite doing everything right, you don't fix the people, you fix the system.
So you're telling me that boomers' minimum wage would be equivalent to $66 an hour today, which means that I make 35% less than minimum wage. But now these boomers are happily retired and we are paying their Social Security. But we are never going to get to retire. There will be no more Social Security.
Right.
So we're all broke and struggling now, and we'll struggle until the day that we fucking die. But then they keep telling us that we're just not working hard enough. We're lazy and we're not budgeting well. Stop buying Starbucks. Bitch, I'm not fucking buying Starbucks. I live in a fucking basement.
Ooh. Gen Z and millennials are so broke, they're ruining their parents' retirements. If this is such a national normalcy that it is trending in Fortune, maybe it's actually not the fault of millennials or Gen Z. Perhaps if it's a unanimous issue to the point that it's trending in a national information source, maybe, just maybe, we're being fucking gaslit to think that it's our fault when it's actually the entire country. It's actually our systems. It's actually inflation. Like this.
Inflation, greedflation, the president, tariffs, cost of living.
Actually such gaslighting and blame shifting. The United States government is quite literally a narcissistic abuser, and we all have Stockholm syndrome.
Does anybody remember that era in like 2012, 2013 where a lot of like indie and punk bands were writing songs about being broke? Like, oh my God, I'm so fucking broke. But it was like a fun broke, right? It was like, oh my God, I'm 21 and like I have to wear shitty clothes and like I can't go to the expensive clubs, but you know, I can still go to the bar and like hang out with my friends and everything's gonna be okay. Notice how nobody does that anymore, right? Because 2024 broke is like a whole different animal. Like, I just paid $8 at a bar to get a fucking ginger ale last night, so not really a fun broke anymore in 2024. So
you want to know why millennials are so poor? Why we can't afford houses? It's because of all the fucking destination weddings we're making each other go to. It's not the boomers' fault, dude. It's fully our fault. Like, I could have put a down payment on a very nice 2-bedroom house in Bozeman, Montana for the amount of money I've spent on bachelor parties and weddings alone the past 2 years.
This boy living in a different world. I ain't been to no destination weddings. I ain't been to no weddings. I mean, I probably been to like one as an adult. Matter of fact, I wasn't even an adult. I was a teenager. So I don't know what you're talking about, my boy. You live in a different world than a lot of us, because where I come from, people ain't even getting married, to be honest. So he talking about destination weddings, and then they not doing destination weddings either. People can't even afford to take no trip to no destination. The destination is the courthouse. That's where they getting married. So I don't know what you're talking about, my boy. He must be a high-level earner. He must have successful friends. My friend, I got some successful friends, but still, I never been to no destination wedding. And I got some broke friends too. Hey, it still wasn't no destination wedding.
Worst part is, it's never like an easy place to get to. The wedding is always in a ranch, on an airship, docked at the top of the Nepalese mountain. I swear to God, the next say the date is gonna say, please join us on our dream wedding in 1905 Tsarist Russia. Use code LOVE for 5% off the time traveling ticket. Like, get the fuck.
Y'all stay with me on this one. So the baby boomers and the Gen X's, our parents and grandparents, are always saying this generation's so lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. Why would we? Because look at what the system has done us. We're burnt out. Gen Zs don't want to work because they see how burnt out the millennials are, because they can't get ahead in today's world. Okay? Y'all come from a society where you worked, you could afford a house, you could afford a family, you could take your family on vacation, you had a nice car, and you worked 40 hours a week, off every weekend. Now what's even crazier to me is you got people that are making $100,000, $120,000, $150,000 a year that can't afford a house, because houses are $100,000 houses now $400,000. They can't even get approved for it. Then you got kids that the Gen X is pushing college. So these kids go to college. Then they get out of college, for one, if they can even find work. They find work, it's a good paying job, but now student loans eating up their paycheck. So what's the sense? If we can't get ahead in life, no wonder nobody wants to work. No wonder Gen Z don't want to work. They're burnt out. Millennials are burnt out. It's a failing system that has failed us miserably. And that's the difference between the baby boomers and Gen X and millennials and Gen Z.
I think the boomers lived through the best time in history. For real. They did. They complained like how hard it was. Their hard is not the same hard as our hard. No diddy. But for real, it's not the same. It's a lot worse. The amount of let me see how I can put this. The amount that comes out of each person's paycheck just for rent or mortgage alone is substantially higher than the boomers had to pay. It's a larger percentage. It's like 50 to 70%. So I don't know, boomers, y'all had it good, man. Yeah, y'all had to go through harder times as far as like, racism, things of that sort. But we got to go through classism. We got to go through tariffs. I ain't hear about no tariffs. Y'all wasn't talking about no tariffs. Y'all wasn't talking about no pandemics. Y'all didn't say y'all lived through none of that. I didn't hear that a part of y'all's story of why it was so hard. We didn't hear that you had to pay $500,000 for a house. So yeah, it's different. It's different times.
Man, I can't believe how my grandpa used to live. 1 job, 3 kids, vacations every year. Now I can't even afford the driveway. That's because 1 income used to mean stability. Now 2 barely keep the lights on. But why? We're still working full time. Ain't we doing the same thing? Yeah, but the math changed. If minimum wage had actually kept up with housing prices, you'd be making up to $66 an hour today. 66? I'm barely making 12. Yeah, that's because the federal minimum's not a wage. It's economic gaslighting. So what was it back then? In 1978, it was $2.65, and a house cost $55,000. Now, that same house is over $450,000, and everything else is just as expensive too. So everything went up except the paycheck?
Yep.
Exactly. And somehow, boomers turned that theft into a lecture. They bought low, sold high, and then blamed us for not skipping brunch. No wonder I feel like I'm drowning. I need 4 jobs just to stay afloat. And here's the kicker. They tell us to just save up for a house while they're out there buying their second one. In cash. Jesus, what savings? My rent eats my soul. I feel you, Randy. They inherited a working system, gutted it for profit, and now act like we're lazy for not building a life out of the scraps they already sold. So the middle class didn't fade, it got mugged by the same greedy bastards who cashed out on fairness, then handed us a bill and said, maybe don't buy avocado toast. Damn. So they never really cared about us? You'd have seen that coming if you actually followed what I was telling you. So don't be like Randy. Make sure you're following me.
I am a broke millennial who's trying to pay off his credit card debt, and I refuse to stay home this summer because I don't want to spend money. I'm trying to find that balance between being smart with my money and still having fun and exploring and adventuring with life. How am I going to receive the flow of money if I'm not contributing to the flow by spending? I don't know. I've got debt, so I'm clearly not one to be speaking on this. But do remember to still enjoy your life. I'm headed to a free outdoor concert. I've got some wine, some snacks from Trader Joe's. I probably spent like 15 bucks. Not the greatest wine, but that's okay. The point is to have fun. If I could enjoy life on a budget, so can you.
Facts. He talking about that cheap wine. Yeah, get you some cheap wine and enjoy yourself, man. You know? There's nothing wrong with going out and enjoying yourself because it's so much stress that Gen Z and millennials are dealing every single day. Dealing and managing with being stressed out, trying to manage through being stressed out, I should say. And you got to kind of find a balance with that and get out and enjoy yourself the best way you can. Now, if you don't got no money, like he said, you can find you a free concert or something like that. Find you some free activities within your local neighborhood that you could do. That's the best thing you could do. Go out for a walk. Link up with some friends. Even that these days, it's kind of hard though, because friends not even the same as back in the day. Back in the day, they had a lot of friends. These days, you probably got 1 or 2 friends. That's genuine, if that.
Bye.
Let's break down what each generation is holding in our nation's wealth right now. The silent generation has 12%. The boomers have 50%. Gen Xers 30%. Millennials 8.5%. Now, why this is concerning is because the 50% of the wealth that the boomers hold, how they built their wealth, was mainly off of real estate and the stock market. But if you think about the millennials and the Gen Zers right now with these housing prices and interest rates, how many millennials or Gen Zers are actually going to be able to build wealth through real estate for the middle class American? It's not looking as bright as it once was, and that's the first concern. And secondly, if we're burdened with these student loans or the high cost of living, rent being $2,200 a month, I don't think the millennials and Gen Zers are thinking about putting an extra $500-600 a month, if they even have that, into the stock market for 30 years from now when we're kind of unsure of where the future is even going to be. And secondly, maybe the boomers are going to say, well, you guys just need time to build wealth. It'll come. Well, back in the 80s when the boomers were our age, they had twice the money. So if we were on trend like the generations before us, the millennials should be sitting on 17% and 26 trillion, which makes a little more sense. So if we're not going to be able to build wealth like the future generations do, where does that leave us? I don't think this should be depressing. I just think this should be a wake-up call for us millennials and Gen Zers and future generations to change the American dream narrative and forge our own path. Because if we keep following the leader, we're going to walk right off the edge.
Nurses are struggling.
That's true, but look, I saw a report that said that including millennials, Gen Z included as well, will be some of the wealthiest once the boomers, once they pass on, they're going to be passing that wealth on. You get what I'm saying? So millennials, Gen Z will be some of the wealthiest once they inherit that wealth. So our wealth won't be through our hard work, through our investing into real estate and, the stock market. Our wealth will be inherited through the hard work that the boomers did. You see what I'm saying? That's how it's playing out. One generation got to pass it on to the next. So that could be a good thing as long as, my generation and Gen Z continues to pass that on as well. And it's just like a trickling effect. It just trickles down to the next. Then that could be a good thing due to them, thanks to the boomers. Because it's hard. But it's crazy how their hard work has to reward. Well, that's how it should be anyway. That's how it should be. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Financially. When I think about these hospital nursing management, administration, CEOs, when I think about all of them profiting, I just get angry. I don't understand how they are profiting millions of dollars, and nurses are having to choose between eating and housing, gas or groceries. And the millennials, they can't buy a home. All have student loans. We're not able to reap the fruits of our labor. But these hospitals, they're all profiting off of us. Even worse is that we're
out there actively getting abused. We're out there enduring all of that. They're living in mansions, driving the most expensive cars, eating the most expensive meals. Their kids go to private schools and Ivy League colleges. They're doing to us and profiting off of that. Think that we got to do this until we die. See them sitting in their offices saying, well, let's cut this, let's cut that, talking about us like we're not even humans, that we don't even have basic human needs. I'm just sad, but I'm more mad, and I'm hungry, and I don't want to have to live out of my car.
They talking about they're going to start giving us retirement benefits at 86. Listen to me. They can raise this retirement age to 107 fucking teens. I don't care if I retire with $1 million in the bank or $12 in the bank. And when I'm tired, when I'm done working, and I'm going to start scamming at 50. They're talking about most millennials will be able to retire in their mid-80s. And do fucking what? Mid-80s? Bitch, my knees hurt now. You must be talking about the Florida temperature in March, mid-80s, because ain't no fucking way. Y'all keep playing with us millennials, bro, huh? Y'all been fucking us ever since we came into this shit. Y'all done raised the price of food, raised the price of gas, raised the price of retirement, and ain't thought about raising our pay. And we are legit trying so hard to be on a straight and narrow. Work a 9 to 5, climb the ladder, get a 401k, save a little money, be cool with vacationing maybe once a year, scan everything in the checkout line, pretend like we not jealous of everybody that got away with the PPP loans, trying to invest in Bitcoin and stock and bloody fucking blah. Also, you can let us know that we will be 15 years from 100 years old by the time we can enjoy retirement. Let me tell you something. Y'all got a couple more elections to get this shit together, or 50% of millennials is about to start a life of crime. I'm telling y'all, I used to steal all sorts of things, and I'm good at it. Y'all not about to have us in the workforce at fucking 90 years old. Jail ain't even looking that bad at this point.
The crazy part is some people say it's better off being in jail because it's harder out here. That's what some criminals say. They be like, I don't know how y'all do it out there. They prefer that. But look, the crazy part is too, jobs not going to even be around for people to work until they 80 or 90 years old. AI going to take all those jobs. So realistically, people going to be living off UBI. Some people going to like it. But that's going to come with that, well, you know, that chip. And that's where we really headed. Destruction is underway or on the way. Both, really. Man, the best thing you can do is enjoy life right now while you can. You got to do what you hate to do to get to the point you can do what you want to do. Nah, that don't exist. You're never going to get to that point. To be fair, retirement is a thing of the past. Ain't going to be no retirement. So the best thing you can do is build your own little retirement, invest so you can retire off of your investments. I mean, you got to make your own retirement plan. You got to make your own 401k for yourself, not the one that the system sells you. That one is not satisfactory. That one ain't enough.
I'm broke, I'm 29, and I just filed to run for Congress. I don't come from money. I've got debt, no wealthy donors, no political machine behind me. But I'm done waiting for someone else to fix this.
See what I'm saying?
Prince George's County and this country are stuck with leaders who mean well, but play by the rules of a broken system.
They don't mean well.
They take corporate PAC money, follow party orders, and tiptoe around the same crises we're drowning in.
Yeah.
Rent is out of control, the climate's collapsing, wages are frozen, and we're told to be patient while everything falls apart. I'm not running because I'm special. I'm running because I'm fed up, because I know what it's like to be ignored by a government that listens more to lobbyists than to people like us. If you feel even a little bit of what I'm feeling, watch the full video on my channel, share this one, and tell somebody. Let's make some noise that they can't ignore.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right.
All we do is work and sleep, and we still broke and tired. All we do is work and sleep, and we still broke and tired. We waking up from 8 hours of sleep tired. How are we waking up from 8 hours of sleep to take a nap? Sleep all night, get to fucking work by 7 o'clock, and be like, listen, don't talk to me till about 11:30. I ain't woke up yet. Be saying stupid shit like, nah, I can't go out Saturday. I gotta get up early Tuesday. I'm so damn broke. Listen, I used to love shopping at Five Below. They might as well change the fucking name to Five and Some Mo. Ain't nothing Five no more. I know y'all sick and tired of me bitching about money, but I'm so broke I can't change my mind.
Look, I got 100,000 followers. Imagine if all my followers cash at me $1. I could finally walk into my job and tell my boss to eat a dick salad, because then I could do this full time. But it don't have to stop there. Like every week or every 2 weeks, we can choose somebody else to send a couple dollars to. Choose somebody else, get their cash up, put their shit on there, get their Zelle or whatever their information, and then send some money to somebody else. And we can just keep this shit going, because we all broke. All we do is work and sleep, and we still broke and tired. I'm gonna get that shit on a shirt.
Y'all older folks, what was y'all doing when rent was like $500, $800? Because I feel like y'all was getting paid the same or similar to what we getting paid now, but the economy was way less expensive. So like y'all's take-home pay covered majority of all your expenses, and you still had money left over to enjoy life. Now, I could be wrong, but that's why I'm asking y'all. I'm asking y'all because of the post I made earlier. It said that the millennials are the most educated, yet least financially stable, and the worst paid generation in history. And I was explaining how that makes sense, because we living in times where prices for everything is sky high, and the wages ain't really moved from since really when we was teenagers. So if housing was affordable back when I was in, the 9th grade, and y'all was still getting paid with people my age just getting paid right now, like what? Was y'all, I'm really, and I'm not judging nobody, I'm not poking or picking no fun at them, I'm genuinely curious. Like, was y'all not investing? Was y'all not saving? Was y'all still living check to check? Was it harder then? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this.
That's true. Y'all had the opportunity to become addicts, get cigarette addictions. I'm talking about casino gambling addictions. Y'all had an opportunity to do all of that. Millennials can't even afford that. Can't even afford to be an addict in 2025. The crack era wouldn't have worked in 2025. Wouldn't have been no crackheads. Crack only lasts about 10 minutes. You got to stay re-ing up and buying more. That would not have worked. So seriously, other than addictions, what did y'all spend y'all money on? Because mostly everybody got addictions from that generation, whether that be alcohol or something even worse. Okay, some of y'all invested, but the majority of our parents were not investors. They had habits. Let's be real. Down to our grandparents and everybody else. So I kind of answered my own question. I guess that's what they was investing in. Tell me I'm lying. Y'all was making good pay. Y'all was acting like it wasn't good pay, but y'all just had habits, man. That's all it was. Priorities weren't in check. That's why y'all ain't millionaires. You blew your millions on blowing your millions. Tell me I'm wrong. It had to be. For some of y'all made the right decisions, and you watching this and you rich right now. If you were an investor, you lived through some of the greatest times, the greatest time, not even some of, the greatest time in world history. I'm hoping some of y'all realize that now, because y'all was acting like we had it bad. Y'all ain't have it bad. Y'all had it good. The best it's gonna get, or the best that it will ever be. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this video, man. If you are a millennial, let me know if you resonate with this video. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you feel like some of the creators, that's how I say creators, like some of the creators on this video? I know you do. I know you do. I just want to hear your story, man. It's a safe space, like I always say. Share your story. Let us know who you are and how you feel. I appreciate y'all. Peace to my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.